Alright, it is early March 1863, so I screwed up royally. Um, I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. I've decided, since my computer's slow while running this OSB thing to record these things, I'm going to kind of do things just a little bit differently. Um, Meaning, once you open up the game, it just shows the battles right here, and that way I don't have to click down here and try to pull them up. I just think it'll save a little bit of time. So I'll just go through the battles, and then I'll kind of go over strategy across the board. So, first one was in Williamsburg. I think that was the last one, actually. Maybe not. Day 16. Um, so I lost 61. He lost 215. Um, no big surprise there. But there wasn't if you remember last turn, he had those sailors there, and I had the militia unit inside, and there was a battle, and the sailors lost like 90 something men, and my guys didn't lose anything. Well, for some reason on day one they just surrendered, and I lost a morale from that. I think that's something you can gripe about this game. Losing a morale for something like that is just ridiculous in my opinion. Um, so that happened. It doesn't show the battle because there just wasn't a battle. They just surrendered. Um, so I did win that battle. Lauderdale, Tennessee. Click on that. It's just as slow here almost. Um, Basically, he was just taking one of these towns here, or a fort pillow, I guess. Pretty much wiped out my force. He lost 553, so that's a win for him. It's right here, and I think if you see this little fort here, Island 10, there was one here, and I guess it just wiped it out completely, which is fine. Next battle here, Montgomery, Maryland. Now, this was the first of a 3-day battle where I screwed up. I'll tell you why. Um, kind of going into the second and third battle here. Now, if you'll remember, he only had like the first level of entrenchment. Um, I brought at the end of the day 158,000. He brought 114. Now, granted, I think when the battle started out, there was just one corps against one corps, and I actually, that I lost over 10,000 more than him. um, I don't think it should have been that bad. I mean, he did have his corps come in, but I mean, and I did have the river crossing penalty, so it kind of makes sense. Um, but of course, that's a lot, and I lost 7 morale from this. I'm just kind of scrolling down here; it's being slow. Um, let's see if you see the start of the battle. Man, all right. See if I can go to round one. I'm sorry, guys. It's taking so long. It's so slow. It annoys me too. It's not this slow unless I'm recording it for some reason. And I'll be trying to get a better computer later this year. Um, so at first it was just these 2 units. Um, you know, did a lot of damage. I had the river crossing penalty. If you kind of look at day 2, it seems like I did better this round, maybe. Maybe not. Total inflicted. No, he did better this round. Sorry. Um, but if you'll notice, the other corps don't have the river crossing penalty, so it was just for that initial corps. And I know they got beat up pretty bad. Let me just kind of jump into, let's just say, round 5. These guys still have the river crossing penalty. it just all around wasn't a good unit. I was able to field a lot more units than him. I had 54, he had 33. I don't understand why it was just that lopsided. But I would go into more detail with these battles too, by the way, if it wasn't so slow. So that happened. Go back out to here. The rest of that little unit was destroyed. Here we go, second day of battle. I lost another 7 morale, so that's 14 morale at this point. 15 if you count the city that surrendered. I lost 22 for 23. He lost 15 to 90. You know, that seems more reasonable to me. That it seems like that should have been day one, in my opinion. And I don't know why there is a river crossing here. It's even the same units. It's on the second day. They were already there, so that does not make sense to me. But I lost more than him on that one. Another 7 morale. Again, I don't know why it was 7 morale this time plus 7 morale last time when, you know, I fared better. So a lot of things about this game that doesn't make sense. Back over to Tempton, Tennessee. Guess he took another town or something. I think it was right here, yeah. And then the last day, this is actually a victory for me, but and I got 4 morale, but that doesn't make up for the 14, 15 I lost. Now the reason why I said this, I should have thought about this, and I would not have made the mood if I would have just thought about it. You forget about things in this game all the time, things you should know. You probably need to write things down if you want to be a serious player in this game, just to remember stuff. I remember I had enough ammunition for one fight, and multiple days doesn't count as one fight. There were 3 battles, so I'm out of ammunition. So that wasn't good. Plus, I even think I mentioned this a few videos ago when he moved into Alexandria here, when he had me surrounded. I'm like, you gotta be in a good position to attack. I just did a stupid thing. I went across the river to a slightly entrenched force, and his units just came to the sounds of guns. It was just a bad move on my part. I shouldn't have done it. I mean, I figured that I'd lose more casualties. I did knock them out of the region, but that was pretty heavy. Like, I lost a lot of morale. I'm back down to 94. That's a lot of men. If you look overall, I've lost more men overall again now. He's lost 229,000. I've lost 235 basically. So it's not good. Now the question is what to do. I don't really feel like I can go for DC, especially not this turn. He's still got a strong force here. It's not dug in, but my force is beat up. Plus, Longstreet won't be able to join them, so I don't find it practical to attack him. I still haven't decided fully what I'm going to do, but I basically, up here, I'm going to just sit put this turn. Those two of those corps that came in had plenty of ammunition, so they're good for another fight. He's good for almost 2 days of battle, and Jackson is pretty much good for 1. So if there's another multi-day battle, you know, it could hurt me again. But I want to keep my foothold here. He could attack me. Longstreet will be fine on ammunition. He probably is now. He's got 51, but you know, he'll get supplied up because more supply will start coming up through here. I took some of the really beat up units, which is Bragg here and Hoke, and I'm just kind of trying to get them out of here. I know last time I tried to get a unit out and they attacked in, so if he comes and attacks, I could lose these units, and that would really suck. But I'm going to take the gamble. I'm thinking he may surprise me this time and just not attack. I don't know. Um, I don't have the fort. He still has a unit in there. I want to stay here. Hopefully he doesn't attack. Maybe he'll attack next turn and that'll be fine. There is a force in here of about 550, which I hope to force a surrender and get some morale, make him lose units. Because, you know, that's a full division in there. I guess it doesn't say division, but that's a power of a full division. Now, do I still go for DC? I'm still thinking about it. We're just going to have to see what happens in the next couple of turns. I may have to go back on the defensive. We'll see. I'm still cutting up rail lines here. I repaired the rail line here. I'm moving Pickett in to take this town, get rail control. My big concern next turn is, will he attack? I do have 2 divisions I made down here that are going in to reinforce Longstreet in case he just tries to come across the river here, which I'm kind of hoping he does. I hope he attacks me here. It'll be better than if he attacks me here. Either way, I think I would win the battle, even with the low ammunition. But we'll see. I mean, he is beat up pretty bad too. You know, he's got a core in here at power 312, one at 313, so 2 of his cores tore up pretty bad. So we'll see what happens. So I mean, those units are really bad, the one I'm moving out, but I still have units in here. They're still pretty bad off as well. You know, these guys are just low cohesion, like Smith, and he's beat up pretty bad. Hills beat up pretty bad. Hood beat up pretty bad. Forrest not as bad. Major here beat up pretty bad. So Jackson's cores tore up. I got Anderson, just very low cohesion. Is that AP? AP Hill, beat up bad. He's a really good defensive commander with a good division here. He's just super low cohesion. So, yeah, 13 out of 86 for one of the units there. So me just sitting there should regain some of my cohesion as well. Maybe that'll fool him. When I was actually talking with Tim, I kind of let it slip. So we'll kind of talk with each other about the turn. We can't really give away what we're doing and stuff, but I did give away that I was out of ammunition. And that's why I did poorly, and maybe that will work to my advantage. He might be like, okay, he's out of ammunition, he may attack me now. You know, I do have a little bit for one day, so I kind of hope he attacks me. You got Gardner here. That division's in pretty good shape. So let's see. Who's this guy? Alexander. So yeah, a lot of this is just bad cohesion. So that could have been why I didn't do so well in the fight either. Either way, I haven't given up on DC. I just have to kind of stop right now. I did see that he had a brig here at Charleston, so I'm sure he sees that I didn't have anything here. I am moving these 3 divisions to Charleston. Hopefully he comes at me with something. I also noticed he has another brig here down in New Orleans. I'm kind of worried about this too. Now I know I'm going for DC, but if it don't work out and he takes New Orleans or Charleston or something, that kind of puts me in a bad position. Depending on what happens, I may try to get units back down here. I'm hoping he sees I have Johnson here with at least 1 division, and I hope that he can't really see what's in here. This is kind of a half-sorry division, a bunch of volunteers. So hopefully he just sees division, and hopefully Maybe he's got 2 divisions ready to invade. He's like, well, he's got a division there. It's probably too much. Maybe I should just go somewhere that doesn't have anything. I'm hoping that's what happens because it's probably going to be a little while before I can get anything down there. Plus, I'm sending those units down to um, Charleston for a turn. But he's advancing here too, and I got nothing here. I mean, I have a couple of not even good divisions plus this cavalry division. So that unit in Charleston, I may have to rail back up here. It would take 2 turns. I don't think that he can get here in 2 turns, so I may have to rail him up next turn. I mean, it takes 27 days for me to move, and I've got full cohesion here. So we'll see what happens. I do have some units building up here. Now, I could, you know, if I feel like I'm too much threatened, like if next turn he's in these 2 regions, then I may just have to pull back to Chattanooga. I don't want to do that, but I may have to. But I can't lose Chattanooga. I was hoping to kind of keep this area for another year, but that may not happen. So we'll see what happens there. Of course, I got some Tennessee units building here, but it's going to take a while, like 3 or 4 turns for them to be ready. So that's pretty much it. We'll have to see what happens. I may think about changing a few things here before I send it over, but I don't think I am. I'm thinking how well this goes. These 2 divisions I'm pulling out, I may send back west. We'll see. And these 2 divisions I'm reinforcing. You know, I could siphon off some divisions and move them back out, like put one in New Orleans and, you know, take some out to Tennessee. I just want to see what happens in the next turn or so, but I'm going to have to make a decision fast. Sorry, I'm kind of just thinking while I'm playing here. National Day of Prayer. That was an event that happened. I think that gave me a morale. But of course this is slow, so I'm not going to show you. I'll get this turn sent over, and hopefully things turn out well.
Okay, so as you guys probably saw, there was a battle up here. Well, several battles here in Maryland. We did pretty well. Let's see, we go... the Montgomery's ones. Let's do those first. And I'm not going to belabor the point here in terms of how it all went, because I know on Josh's side you're going to see the actual battle unfolding. But we had a total of 114,000. He had 158,000, which is very telling, by the way. If you're the South and you have 158,000 in one spot in early 63, particularly after you've lost 235,000 troops already, that pretty much means he's exhausted everywhere else in theater. And a lot of what I'm about to do is based on that premise, which I will explain in a moment. Let's focus on this here for a second, though. So the first battle, we lost 17. He lost 28. It's a very long battle. I'll just go through this piecemeal. So at first, we only had the, 1 corps? No, 2 corps? I mean, Hooker's in charge, so I must have 2 corps here. Excuse me, sorry. And he only had 1 corps, so I think we had... Well, at battle, we only had the 1 corps in there, and he has 1 corps. Okay. And then by second round, looks like 2 corps against 2 corps. No? What's up with these loose units? Why do I have loose units? I don't know what's up with these guys, why they're loose. Okay, maybe the whole army is here by this turn. We committed 33, committed 54. I wonder why he was able to commit more to the battle than us. Maybe just had more, I don't know. Yeah, consistently we only have 33. even though he had the river crossing penalty. So what's interesting too, Josh and I were talking about this. You only get the river crossing penalty for the units that initially commenced the battle. So his corps that entered that region got the river crossing penalty. But the corps that came to his assistance, like Bragg on down, as you can see here, don't have a river crossing penalty. So it's important to know. If you're doing a river cross attack, try to, obviously you don't want to have what we had happen in Annapolis, or rather Alexandria, where we, only engaged with one corps initially, suffered a ton of losses until the rest of our army showed up. But it is good to know that if you have units moving to the sound of the guns, they won't get the river crossing penalty. Right. So it looks like throughout the game, or through the battle, we only had 33 committed. He had 54, so that's a little unfortunate. But yeah, so again, very large battle, significant casualties on both sides, but he did suffer more. Now let's go with the next one. So there's another one. So we had 98,000. We lost another 15. He lost another 22, which we did the math on this, and let me pull it up actually. The total losses here were, between all these different battles, which I'll mention in a moment. But yeah, he lost another 22. Again, another river crossing penalty, which I find interesting. I almost wonder if what happened was he moved 2 corps up there, and maybe the first corps got beat back, and so he came in with another corps, and that's why there's another battle here with the river crossing. But another very long battle of 6 turns. Again, 98,000. We lost 15. He had 130. He lost 22. And then I think there's one more. Yep. And then we had 61. We lost 6, 5. He only lost 27. So he's down to about 105,000 there total. But he ran out of ammo. So that's probably why he didn't inflict more casualties than he would have. And we only had the 1 corps there, I believe, that fought that. And yeah, 3 turns. So I'm curious. Let's see. We went 8. Yeah, 8, 54. That's weird. I wonder why that is. Probably because we're exhausted, maybe. But so between those 3 battles, he lost roughly 54,000 troops just in that one turn, and we lost 39,000. Now, to put it in perspective, I believe that for the CSA at least exceeds the number of casualties they suffered at Gettysburg. I believe, and this was in one day. So the differential, so again, he lost about 54,000 that one turn. We lost about 39,000, which was a differential of about 14,600 that he lost more of than we did. Which leaves us here with casualties. He's got 200 and basically 35,000 total, and we're at about 229. So what I'm going to do is I went ahead, I restructured things. I pulled out a lot of the divisions, or not divisions, the brigades that needed replacements. So that is, I think, here. Yeah, so under Slocum, these guys all here need replacements. And so the way I do it is I just look through. I look for a division that's not full up 18. And that's because I know my divisions are almost always at full strength, which is 18 elements when they're on the front line. So if I find somebody that's no longer 18, that probably means that they lost a couple of elements from their brigade. So I pull them out, I reorganize the division, and then I stick them, inside a city somewhere. I think you have to have like city level 4 or 5 or something like that to give them priority for replacement. And I put him here. Now, the reason I put him under Slocum is I want to make sure he maintains his division command points. I don't want to have to, make him into a new division commander and lose that for that one turn. So I just have him here for the one turn, hopefully get these guys all replaced. And then next turn, plug and play with the different divisions I need. This turn in DC, I'm going to use as a rest, reset, and then go back on the offensive next turn. So I'm not going to do much this turn. as far as DC is concerned. What I am going to do is I'm going to move a core of 3 division back, take a bunch of transports for my shipping lanes along with Farragut, load them up, and go and make a move on Charleston. Because he's got almost all his troops up here and near DC, and we inflicted so much casualties that turn, I can afford to lose, in my opinion, 3 divisions off the front here to go and have a significant impact on his economy. Let's just say that. If I were to take New Orleans and Charleston the next few months, which that's my plan, his economy is going to be shot, and he will have lost so many troops in such a quick period of time that I assure you he's already having trouble keeping his replacement stock up here, if not able to, but also with his conscripts being probably a challenge as well. We're not having that problem. We need 1,300 this turn and 356 elites, so this will probably be 0 next turn, but within the next 2 turns, this will probably be back at a healthy number, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, so that's what we're going to do. So I restructured these different core just for this turn to get them back up, because they're all pretty shut up, right? Like this guy's got stuff coming down from up here, so he'll be back to full health, and then Governor Warren, I should be able to get to full strength and so forth. But he won't be able to attack DC this turn anyways, because he needs to take this fort first, if he even decides to. I don't know what he's going to do. But yeah, so loaded up here. I was able to finally, through my restructuring, get almost a full division of artillery. So that's nice. So you can see here, most of my divisions now have 2 or more artillery pieces. Ideally, I'd like to have just 2. But the way some of these guys are structured, I have to kind of wait to be able to get them, get that one last artillery piece with a single infantry guy, because I don't have a lot of single infantry units. But that's a pretty good division there. Ideally, I would have 1 in every corps. That's probably not going to happen because that's a lot of money and resources. But if I can have 1 just pure division of artillery in any major battle, that makes a big impact on the battle, because normally they're never targeted, because artillery are targeted last in terms of roles. So if you don't have any infantry in your division, you just have artillery, it's almost, I won't say almost guaranteed, but it's a very high likelihood he will not be shot at. And every other turn, he gets to fire on 1 particular division, which when you have an entire division of artillery firing on 1 enemy division, it dramatically affects their cohesion and can really impact a battle, particularly if it goes long. Like I'm talking long 6-round battles. Like these artillery divisions have a huge impact. So that's here in Washington, D.C. I've got troops coming forward like I normally do. I'm moving a corps back to this area here, Baltimore. I've got transports and Navy coming up to Baltimore to pick them up. I'm also moving my Rangers and other cavalry type units over here so that I can rip up rail lines and so forth in the Deep South, attack his depots, and really just harass his logistical supply lines going forward. All right, let's go over these other battles here. Williamsburg, yep. So he just pushed me back. Fine, whatever. Lyons, victory here. We end up actually destroying the town, which is funny. Lyons is actually eligible for promotion, so I'm going to promote him to Army Commander. He does not suffer any penalties to his statistics. Whatever. But he's going to be basically at this point the 2nd best Army Commander I have after Grant. Statistics wise. All right, Tennessee, yep, have that, and this. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to get military control along the river to get Memphis connected with my supply, because right now I do get it through the rail line, but it's coming all the way from Paducah, which is pretty far. Because I don't have a warehouse here or a depot. So once I take Fort Pillow, I think it's Fort Pillow, or Island 10. Then I took Fort Pillow this last turn. This was Fort Pillow, which got destroyed. Once I take Island 10, then my supply will be connected, as you see here. That's the bottleneck right now. And then what I'll do is I'll start preparing to move from Memphis all the way down to New Orleans. That's going to take a little bit of time, though, because I need to, again, get Fort Pillow, or Island 10. Sorry, I keep calling it Fort Pillow. Take Island 10, get my supply properly set up here in Memphis. So in the meantime, because it's going to take me a couple turns to get here, and then it might even take me a little bit longer to siege it and take it, since it is swamp. I'm going to go take Little Rock, secure that. And the reason I want Little Rock, you might say, well, why do you want Little Rock? Besides it being a strategic location, which we're not playing for this game, it is on the table. You can win the game having the most victory points, but I want complete victory. It's a nice little conduit down into Texas. So I take this, and then move forward, take these 3. Really, this fort here is really what I care about, this redoubt. It's got a size 2 depot. I can use Little Rock as the jumping off point to take that. Then I can jump down to Pleasant, Texas, which is on this rail line, and then just take the rail line all the way down to Galveston, which is what I want. So I'm also hoping that when I make that movement from Little Rock, it's going to unfreeze this little standoff down here between what he's got with Price and what he's got going on up here. Now, I am moving him back, unfortunately, because I don't have supply. My wagon is getting low, and now the weather is cleared up for me to make this movement. So I'm going to go up here. There is supply here at this fort. I hope it's only temporary, because I'm hoping with my movement on Little Rock and subsequent movement on Texas, it'll cause him to pull these guys back to the internal parts of Texas. I'm also making a move on Fayetteville here. The reason being is it just shores up my western flank, west of the Mississippi. I take Fayette, take these 3 points in front, probably just keep a small force here in Fayetteville. And it's called Fayette in the game, but it's Fayetteville and Fayetteville. Then I can really hold down Missouri and Kansas from any sort of incursions. And then again, the Little Rock concept is to blitz into Texas. What I can do is I can take the forces that I took Fayetteville with, pivot them to Little Rock, and then use them to move into Texas. So that's the plan for over here. Butler is going to be the army commander for this, with Sumner being the corps commander. These guys in the middle here, I've been wanting to move them, but the weather's pretty bad. But I'll probably just use them to help with military control of the rail lines, so that it can make a quicker advance onto Little Rock. The little bit of the challenge is, Edmond, Arkansas is divided by a river. So you will suffer a river crossing penalty attacking there. I don't think it's going to be an issue. It's just a brigade, but they're pretty well dug in, and it's also a swamp. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my Navy. I'm going to do an amphibious landing with shore bombardment with a division to just clean this up and take it, and then start moving along the rail line. South of Nashville, I'm moving further south towards Chattanooga. He just has looks like a division, maybe just some cavalry. Probably just cavalry. I don't know. Nothing threatening for a corps. So we're going to push and at least get to this river and then see what he has behind the river. If anything, I'd be surprised if he has anything, to be honest with you, considering how many troops he has in Virginia. It looks like he went all in Virginia, which is fine, because now I can take my strategic locations much more quickly. We did get a couple new units this turn. Got this guy called the Lightning Brigade. But here's what's annoying. So this stat is pretty cool. It's a rapidly advance type stat. The problem is he only has 3 strategic rating, so that's kind of sucks. But this, they call it the Lightning Brigade, but it's not. When you click these guys, they say, oh, hey, look, it's Rangers. No, it's mounted infantry. Oh, okay, so then it's what? It's one of these guys, right? Mounted Brigade. Like, here, let me show you the difference here. Mounted Brigades. Mounted Volunteers. They are heavy infantry, but they move like heavy infantry. Well, that is what these guys are, but they're not like rapid response. So it's a little deceptive. So they're basically mounted infantry, but upgraded. But they're not like rapid or anything. So that's annoying. But they do have cavalry with them. So this guy, as long as he makes his strategic roll. What do I have going there? Oh, okay. Then I guess he'd be advantageous. So he does have the fast mover. But I was a little annoyed by that. And then we got this guy, which is awesome. So he's a 5/2/2. He has decreased chance of foraging, deep raider, and cavalry. So I'm going to send him over to the east and either plunk him in North Carolina to tear up his rail lines and his depots, or South Carolina in Charleston to go after depots in Georgia. I haven't decided yet. We'll see how that goes. That's how I'm going to use him. And then finally, before we run the turn here, I realized I am woefully deficient in cavalry to deal with like his little guys going behind my lines, tearing up rail lines, taking over my depots, that sort of thing. So I need to make cavalry for that. But I also need a cavalry division to deal with whatever cavalry he tries to throw my way with his own cavalry divisions. So I'm going to focus pretty heavily on that the next couple turns, get my cavalry going. That way I have that. And then I also built a flatboat here down in eastern Kentucky to work against western part of mainland Virginia and eastern Tennessee. The whole idea being it's going in here, ripping up his rail lines so that he can't move forces west to east as easily. So I'll have a depot here. I've got a couple of Unionists popping in here. And then I built 2 light artillery infantry guys. One to hold down this spot because there's a depot here, and another one to hold this spot because that's a depot. Because I think this strategically helps me out going after his rail lines. And anything else? I mean, God, a lot happened this turn. It's... Alright, I don't know what that means. National, okay, whatever. Okay, here's our replacements, builds, replacements. I need a lot more in line infantry, as you can see, but we're ultimately doing okay. I went ahead and put a bunch in transports because I got a bunch of my riverine fleet. They got pretty banged up over in the Mississippi, so I got to replace them before I'm in a position to go after New Orleans. I think you see my cavalry's hurting too. So there's that, and then rail pool, river pool, which are both actually quite healthy, considering I've got an entire corps moving and then other stuff being moved. I still at 552, plus my river fleet's doing decent. And I don't think there was anything else to speak to. "12 raiders spotted." Wow, he's got a lot in there. Oh, and that's right. So I sent my fleet into New Orleans. I'm guessing that he has a division there. Doesn't look like he has anyone in the city. He does have his Memphis squadron there. But I'm guessing he just has a division. So if I go in there with 3 to 4 divisions with strategic bombardment, I should be able to take it. And then I'll tear off one of those divisions to take out these forts so that I can open up supply from the ocean. That's the plan anyways. And then as you recall last turn, we went in here and he's only got what it looks to be like some cavalry, and that's it. So I think we'll be okay. And when I'm sending 3 divisions down here, but then I also have this guy that I'm going to also involve in the campaign. And then I'm going to bring 4 more units, or 5, but yeah, 5 elements down to fill him out into a full division and replace him with another, with a better division commander. That's the plan. Let me just show you who I'm sending. So he'll probably be the division commander since I'll need a good defense guy to hold down Charleston. I've got him, who is a 3-1-1, but he's got this extra protection for the stack, which is nice. So again, these guys are all going to be like fixed up in the next turn or two. They won't depart for Charleston until they're fully healthy. But then I got Sickles 2-2, and then Reno 2-2. So like, not the best generals, but the reason that is I've got him right on my ass. So I've got to keep the best commanding generals here on the front. But I am sending 2 supply wagons with that in HQ, and then these cavalry guys are going to be used to harass this rail lines, get military control, that sort of thing. I would love to go with more than that, but right now I feel like if I wait, I mean he's fully committed right now across the, what is this? Is this app the what river is this? I'm blanking on the name. Anyways, but McDowell's going to lead the Charleston attack when that happens. The Potomac, that's right. So he's north of the Potomac, with most of his forces. So it's going to take him some time to get back in position. So now is the time to take Charleston before he has a chance to rail back down there, which I think railing takes about 2 turns. So we're looking at 3 or 4 turns before he can get back to Charleston. So I think we can take it. I think there's an opening there. All right. And then I'm going to build a couple of partisans to send down to Charleston as well to go and blow up all his depots and whatnot. All right. That was a very, very long-winded intro to this video. So let's get the turn going, see what happens. All right, so let's see what he does here. Oh, come on. He went after my, like, innocent, cute little sailors. Oh, yeah, by the way, there was a 10 morale swing last battle, which was really nice. So I guess we're okay on the morale piece. Who's shooting at who? I wonder if that was the guy going in there. So it looks like not too much activity this turn, which is not surprising. We're both pretty beat up. Let's see, what did he do? All right, so he's besieging the fort. He's got 2 corps there. Yeah, I'm going to go after him hard. I'm going to go after him so hard. All right, and then he's got another corps back here. Okay, that's cool. I'm going to hit him incredibly hard. All right, so how are we doing here? Okay, they're almost healed up. He's healed up. I hate to roll out with that artillery not being fully repaired, but so 7 out of 12 cannon. And then replacements, how are we doing? Oh, that's why. So it's going to take a couple turns because I'm out of replacements there. I'm probably out here. Yeah, I'm out across the board. I did, by the way, print money. So we're now plus 2% instead of negative 2%, but I needed to with the replacements. I mean, like, all my money this turn's going to replacements. I mean, I'm down to 380 already. So, all right. Let me go through, sort this out. I'm going to attack him because I want to just keep bleeding him. Keep bleeding him over and over. Just keep doing it. Okay, repair. Yep. All right. And then let's see. What did he do? Anything else? just disconnect him. Okay, nice touch to McDowell. All my force there. Okay, we took that. Oh, he didn't. Oh, I bet he missed. Yeah, he missed his freaking activation roll. Oh, it's so annoying. Alright, well, I guess it looks like he was moving out of there anyways. I wonder, can I make him an army commander? No. Okay. Oh, we're doing river crossing, so let's do that. Alright. He missed his activation roll too. Wow, nice. Great leadership, guys. Typical Union. Alright, but that's right, that's what I'll do here. Before I forget. 2, 2, 3. Yeah, he's better than Buell. So I want Rosecrans in charge here. So no one's going to be upset if I promote him. So let's do it. Boom. Alright, so he is now... Now, I don't want Pope in charge. He's got some negative stats. So that's fine. There we go. Okay. And then we're going to disconnect you and reconnect you. No! That's so weird. Okay. Well, I guess it's because Rosecrans is... He'll be a commander, army commander next term. Then I'll connect him to there. I think we'll be okay because I don't see him jumping back across this river to attack me. He left this open for a reason. He's either down here in Chattanooga or somewhere over here. So that's fine. I need to figure out what to do with Buell. I don't need him back here. He's a decent army commander, so I could probably use him somewhere. Maybe over where Butler's at. Yeah, I'll figure that out. Okay. And then we are 18 turns. Ah, so annoying. Yeah, we'll do that. There's nobody out of here, so we don't have to worry about getting hit with a river crossing penalty or anything. Alright. So... Okay, so we are here. What happened? Oh, it's so annoying. He burned the city. Oh, what a cheap move. Wow. Alright. So my plan was to hold on to Fayetteville and then use that as my, locking down my western front. So I guess now it'll just be the Ozarks. I don't know. I definitely want somebody over here on my west flank. I'll have a small force in Springfield, but my main force is going to be up here. That'll be like my westernmost force. And then, like I mentioned earlier, take Little Rock and go down into Texas. But that booger. Okay. Man, weather got nasty again. It's March. I mean, we're okay. We got supply and stuff, but all right. I got this guy up here. Let me get him back down there. Like, I don't know if this is glitched or what. I can't get that dude. I mean, he's neutral now. He's neutral, but it's taking forever for me to get military control again. So I don't know what's going on with that. What's up with that? Okay. These are the troops in here, right? Yeah, dude, I could. He should have pulled back. I'm gonna do so much damage to him. I'm going to hit him so hard right now. All right. I also want to move into Western Virginia here. Take these areas back. Hopefully this year as well. So these guys, I just spawn them so I could use them down in the Carolinas. All right, let me go through things here, and I'll be back to explain the moves, what happened that turn, and keep going from there. Okay, so this video is already long in the tooth, so I'm going to make this quick. I'm going to attack with a 1500 power force under Hooker with 3 divisions. He is eligible for promotion to Army, but for one thing, I'm out of Army commands to hand out. Number 2, his stats go down if you promote him to Army, so I'm going to keep him as a Corps Commander. He's a 5.65, so it's not bad. Man, that's actually really good for the Union. I'm also attacking with Meade, who's got a 2500 power force with 4 divisions. He's a 6.66. 6.66. I don't think good. That's probably bad luck. It was 6.66 right there. And then Grant, obviously, with I think 5 divisions. Yeah, 5 divisions. One of which is in my artillery division. I think you can only have 16 artillery pieces in a division because it won't let me put the other 2 in there, which is interesting, but whatever. But he is a 3,000 power force, so we should have more troops in him, because even though I'm not attacking with Kearney, he only has 2 divisions. He's still got these 2 guys here, and then in reserve being rebuilt here is Couch, Slocum, Heron. And then these guys who are loose. So these guys I'll build back out. This is the division here that has empty replacement chits that need to be fixed and replaced before I can put them in back on the battlefield. I'm also moving the Northeastern Virginia Army. I thought it was the Army of Northern Virginia, but whatever. Down 3 divisions. Down to Charleston, and then I also have that additional division down here in Fort Sumter that I'll fill out to make it a full division and bring him forward as well. So I'll have 4 divisions down here in the Charleston area. These guys missed their activation rolls, which is incredibly annoying, so they haven't made it here. So we're going to push forward with them. So 6 divisions total. It turns out I couldn't make Lions an Army Commander if I made Rosecrans an Army Commander, because I had to make Halleck an Army Commander, because he'd be pissed off if I promoted everybody else, and I would have lost 2 national morale. So I kept Rosecrans a division or a Corps Commander under Buell, and then I promoted Lions. I still got a 1 national morale hit because Rosecrans was eligible for promotion, but that's fine. I mean, he's a 4.22 Army Commander. He's my 2nd best Army Commander that I have, so it's worth the 1 national morale. What I'm going to do with these guys, once I have the riverboats, which I don't have yet, what I have here is not enough to transport what I need down to New Orleans. So I'm trying to get these guys fixed up. Not those guys, these guys. But they're not fixed up yet. Once they are, I should have enough to transport those guys down to New Orleans like I want to. I need to take Island 10 because of the supply issue. Although now we're like well stocked. So even though we don't have a supply depot here, the transports I parked in Memphis were plenty good, so that's not an issue. And then I was going to go down here and take these 3 areas in Arkansas, but it's going to take me like 60 days to get Sumner down there, which I'm not sure why. I mean, I know it's mud, but there's mud here, but not here, so I don't know why it's going to take so long. But these are really inconsequential. I don't need them. So I'm going to pull back, set up a defensive force in Springfield, a small little force over here in my like far west Kansas flank, and then take the rest of my guys put them down in St. Louis, sail them down to Memphis, or this area if I've taken it by then, and then go towards Little Rock that way, and then use that force to go into Texas, which I think will relieve any sort of pressure over here in the far west, because I imagine he'll need to pull back. Because he can't have anything in Texas. There's no way. With everything he's gotten in Virginia and what little I've seen over here so far, I gotta imagine he's got nothing in Texas. So I'll probably bring like 2 divisions down to Little Rock and go into Texas that way from over here. Which I have this guy who's a full division, which I don't know how I got this upgraded sharpshooter, but I'll take it. Probably maybe the I didn't have a headquarters over here, so yeah, I don't know. And then Sumner, who's got this right here, and then this full division ish here. So I'll park them in Cairo and then forward them to west of Memphis and then push them towards Little Rock. I am coming forward with this guy with the Indians just to seize these 2 areas, just to further take as much of Arkansas as I can to hopefully get it in a situation where you can't even recruit troops out of Arkansas. That's a hope. All right, replacements. Pretty much everything I spent, with the exception of a couple of these guys here and some militia, was all in replacements. So I did 6 elites, so I need 285, 16 line, which will probably be all burned through with this 1,000, so I need to probably spend more on those next turn, which will probably be my cost next turn since we're attacking Lee. 6 cavalry, artillery, which that could probably be I'll keep those 4. And then some more river repair parts. I don't know. Like, I hate being behind the 8 ball and that stuff, but it is what it is. If I'm hurting on it, you know he absolutely is hurting on it. And we've got plenty of conscripts. That's not the issue. So I think we're fine. Yeah, we saw that battle. Anything else of note before I send this over to Josh? It's so weird. It says he's been promoted to the rank of general, but he wasn't. Well, he is now, but anyways. Oh, he put a mine down here. That's annoying. He put mines when my ships were leaving out of here. Explain why some of these ships are beat up. Cohesion. Interesting. Okay. But I am dropping them south of Charleston, so there shouldn't be any naval battles or bombardment or anything. I'm going to come down here, up here near Beaufort Bay, drop them into Jackson, South Carolina, then move on Charleston that way. That way I don't have to deal with these 2 forts and getting my ships shot up that way. I have enough ships where I could probably just sail up through and drop them off. The thing is, when I do that, then I have to leave as well. And that's where I don't know. I'm dropping them in swamp. Gotta move to swamp. And it's mud. So their movement's gonna be really slow. I might just, you know what? I was gonna move these guys because they're gonna come up later. Let's put them in there. We're just gonna go right up the gut. Screw it. Charleston. Attack. Red, baby. Let's do it. Right up the gut. We'll see if we regret it, but that's what we're gonna do. All right. let me get this over to Josh and see how it goes.